My voice and sound like a 13-year-old boy. I apologize. So I just want to say thank you to both of you for being here. I know you have crazy schedules, so it's awesome for you to take the time for fans to be here. So everyone keeps complimenting you as an actor. I loved you as Killian. You're my favorite character. I love that you've taken this person with a really complex past, like a really hard life as a child, and kind of made some bad decisions, but eventually came to, becoming this really great hero and having, culminating this amazing wedding, the Captain Swan wedding, which I'm sure everybody loved. So I guess going into season 7, it sounds like you and Emma might be separated. So I guess, how do you hope to hold on to Hook's happy ending going forward? Happy beginning?
See, I know what you're trying to do here. You're trying to catch me out. So I don't know much about what's happening next season. So I don't know. I think Hook and Emma went on an incredible journey, which was incredibly difficult for them at times to get to where they got to. And I think that they deserve their happy ending together. I don't know what's going to happen, so I can't really answer that. I just hope that whatever it is, it's true to the people that they are now and stuff like that. So I guess that's as cryptic an answer as I could possibly give.
Thank you.
And your wedding was really fun, dude. I got loaded. I did a conga line. It's fun.
I will say it was such a fun episode to shoot, the musical episode.
Oh yeah.
Because it was so different than anything we'd done before, and weirdly at the wedding, everybody, it was almost like it was a real wedding.
Oh, it was so fun that it was.
Everybody was in great form. They were all dressed up. Everybody was having a good time. It was great fun.
Yeah, I love that. I was a little scared of the musical episode, not because of our ability or whatever, but I felt it was coming late in the game, and I didn't want it to be like shark jumpy and this whole thing. But as it turned out, it's one of my favorite episodes we ever did. It was so much fun. They really nailed it. The songs were fantastic. Everyone did a great job, and it's something that I'm really proud to be a part of. And I thought it was, it was so much fun. Really.
Listen, I put my limbs on the line for that episode. So. Yeah.
Channeling was it Donald O'Connor, or who did that move? Whose move was that? Gene Kelly?
Gene Kelly, I think it was.
Snap!
And then I danced in it for 10 hours.
Yeah, well, once you break your foot, you can't get any worse, right?
First of all, I wanted to say that the young lady you talked to outside and the young lady who asked the question was the same person.
No, I know.
What was your favorite and least favorite part about filming, and like the most difficult part and your favorite part or the easiest part?
I think probably my favorite, I would say my favorite on Once Upon a Time, certainly that comes straight, is probably my first day on set, and we were on the Lady Washington, which is the Jolly Roger, and it was in Vancouver, which is one of the most beautiful cities in the world, and we were sailing a real ship. I was dressed in full black leather as a pirate with eyeliner. I never ever thought I would wear eyeliner in my life, and I was working with Robert Carlyle, who's one of my heroes growing up, and I literally watched I'd seen every movie of his up to that point. And that to me was a highlight, just because it was like the first experience. Since I've had millions, but I think that's probably the one that will stick most in my mind. The hardest stuff, if I'm honest, is the weather in Vancouver. When it's 5 o'clock in the morning, it's absolutely bucketing down with rain, you're freezing cold, it's December, and you have a blouse unbuttoned down to there, and you're desperately trying not to shiver, and then you have Robert Carlyle jump on your gentleman bits, and that's not, that's probably the hardest. the hardest one, but yeah, I think it's the weather is the hardest thing on this.
Yeah, it's challenging. It's that wet kind of cold that gets into once it hits your bones, you got no chance. And you had a costume that, again, a lot of the difficulty in acting I find is really what's the costume you're wearing. If you're kind of dressed for the conditions, you can find ways to cheat, but you didn't have a lot of places you could put the hot shots.
I don't know. No.
Yeah. So, and when it was, then the other thing you don't realize that in the summer there, it's hot. So in the same way, wearing the leather in the heat, can also having to do very physical scenes. That's another challenge too.
Get a bit
Poor baby. Yeah, we feel real sorry for Colin.
It's kind of a two-part question for both of you. So, what fandoms do you get excited about? And if you were going to go, what would your cosplay character be?
I was a huge fan of Star Wars, like everybody. But I love Tim Burton's stuff, so I think I'd probably have to cosplay something from one of his movies. Oh my God.
That's a tough question, right? I'm a big James Bond fan. I'd like to cosplay some James Bond. I mean, not that anyone would believe me.
Put on a suit.
Yeah, it's still cosplay for me. This is how I usually roll, I mean, this is dressed up for me, bro. So, but it's interesting because, my fandoms are more by it's funny, my fandoms are like scientists or people that work with animals. I mean, I would dress like a scientist to go out in the jungle and discover a variety of some bug or something. That would be cool for me.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah. Thank you.
I have two questions for you. My first question is, was it hard for you wearing a hook all the time?
It's at first it was difficult because obviously I can't use my left hand, but then I got used to it. I use it as a coffee cup holder and stuff now, so it's good.
My second question is, can I have a hug from you?
Of course you can. Come up here.
Can I have one too, Colin? Thank you. Yeah, of course. Line up. Eat your hearts out, people.
Hi.
Hi.
My question for you was, what is your weirdest talent or most unuseful talent?
In America we have this thing called the fifth. You just when you're going to incriminate yourself, you invoke it, so you don't have to get...
My weirdest talent. I can do the funky worm, but I have a broken foot at the minute, so I can't do it. I actually would do it for you, but I can't. I've got a broken foot, so.
That's okay.
We'll trust you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're on record with your foot heels, you're going to get a lot of funky worm.
Why did you have to say it? You didn't have to say that at the end.
I did, because I'd like to see it. I mean, I'd plead the fifth to that one.
Okay, so I have two things. First of all, the sweet little girl in front of me kind of stole my question. It was, how big of a nuisance is it to wear a hook during filming? But since she stole that and you answered it, and she got a hug.
No, don't do this.
No,
No, don't do it.
And then the other thing is, speaking myself and a majority of the people in here, our spouses owe you a huge amount of gratitude. So thank you for that.
And have you bought a Captain Hook body pillow yet?
You're welcome, I guess.
That's it. Thank you.
It's funny, they never say that about Grumpy. It's weird. Can't forget that one. Ugh. Add it to my resentment list.
Yeah.
Okay, hi. So you mentioned something about the Princess Bride, so I wanted to ask if you could switch characters. Instead of being Hook, you could be somebody from Princess Bride. Who would it be and why?
I would be Inigo Montoya. Because you killed my father, Roberto. But just, I love that character, so I think, well, no, I would be probably Wesley. I think Dread Pirate Roberts, I think, was probably great. I just love that movie was just incredible, so, yeah.
My question is, if you could be any female character in Once Upon a Time, who would it be and why?
I have answered this before and said that I would be the evil queen. So, I will say I would be the evil queen, but I think maybe the Wicked Witch might be fun too. It's basically anything, much like my costume, that allows me to have my chest out. Is what I want to do. Yeah, so I'm going to say the Wicked Witch or the Evil Queen.
Both sleeper. Both sleeper.
Hey, Hook. I wanted to say my name is Beth Hook, and Henry, I hope you're listening. My question is that why did you kill Robert, Henry's great-grandfather?
That is actually a very good question. Why? Because he was a bad man at that time.
I want to say that I like your good side and not your villain side, and I want a hug from you.
All right.
Good job, brother.
I mean, for a guy with a broken foot, you really make me all.
Yeah, you're making you work for it, brother. But that's the thing, man. You spread the love wherever you go, man. You don't realize just how powerful.
Listen, Lee, I'm a lover, not a fighter.
I know that. Dude, I benefited from more than most from your loving kindness, my friend. It's not lost on me. I could be like, dude, you see some of those Instagrams from the old days? It's a lot of hits I got on that, exploiting my friend.
Hi, my question is, out of everyone in the cast, who's your favorite to work with?
Well, I'm gonna have to say Lee Arenberg, aren't I?
No one's gonna buy that. Although we have a great time, and we do have. There is that little secret thing that Hook hates Grumpy. Hates him.
Hates him.
I always get stiff, like it's a hug scene. We've come together as a family, and he'll always do like, oh, let me fix my hair. So it's really kind of fun to have that little thing. It's like a secret little.
I think there was a line in one episode where we're talking about killing a dwarf, or so there was something where we get a dwarf and send a dwarf out to find somebody, but basically we knew they were going to be sacrificed. It's in one of the episodes, and I think Hook goes, as it's sneezy, or which is the dwarf I despise.
That's fun. It's fun being hated by such a handsome guy.
It's that's not really. There's no single person I would say that I love to work with more than anyone else, and I'm actually not just being diplomatic. It's when you work with everybody, you get there's a different dynamic. So I actually get to explore a different sort of part of who Hook is, depending on who I'm working with. So I love working with everybody, and as a character, I've been very lucky that I actually get to have quite a bit with everybody. It hasn't just been, oh, we're going off to save things. I was a villain, and I had interactions like that with people, like with Belle, where I tried to kill her a couple of times. But then, since then, we've had other interactions where I've protected her, I've saved her, I've killed somebody to save her. and stuff like that. So it's great. I get to do everything with everybody. So I know it sounds like I'm being diplomatic, but it's not. That's just the way it is.
And I think it's really true. I mean, you know, one of the things, you guys, that really, I've had a long career now in this business, and I've worked with a lot of actors, and the real key to the Once Upon a Time cast is they're all really talented. You don't get a job on Once Upon a Time if you're not a good actor. And so it's always an honor. You never know who you get. When you do get paired up in the different combinations, you get a scene with Bobby, or in with Lana, or Bex, or Josh, or Ginny, or Colin.
Or I got to work with Ernie Hudson, who's a Ghostbuster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
I did a movie with Ernie, this low budget one called Mickey Madsen. I don't know if anyone's ever seen. Some of the kids have seen it, but Ernie's awesome, dude.
Oh, I do have to say Karen. I have to say Karen, because she said to me backstage, "I was so nice about you in my panel. You have to be nice about me." So, Karen David, she's awesome.
Karen's awesome.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Haley. I was just wondering if you could live in any realm in Once Upon a Time, where would you live?
I would live in Arendelle, I think.
Why is that?
Because I love the snow. The cold doesn't bother me. I like to ski, used to like to ski. Don't like to ski so much anymore, but used to. And it looks so nice, it looks so pretty.
Good reasons, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Alana. I'm just wondering if you could have any prop from the set, what prop would it be and why?
I would have the Jolly Roger. Because, all joking aside, it's one of the best sets I've ever seen. And I know it's a real ship, but we've got a version that's floats on a barge, and then we've got one that's in the green screen that's on these massive airbags that sort of, so if you see any scene where we're on the Jolly Roger and there's a storm, we're on the green screen and we're on these massive airbags getting thrown around and stuff like that. But yeah, that would be the thing. I know technically it's not a prop because it's too big, it's a set, but I would take that, have it in my back garden, and just, when I'm not working Once Upon a Time, just weep. Pretend to be Captain Hook on my own in my back garden.
It'd be great for the kids too when they get older. They'll play on it.
Yeah.
Swing like pirates. It's really fun to be a pirate, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name's Seth. I was just wondering if you had a magic bean that could transport you anywhere in time, in Once Upon a Time, where would you go to fix one of the bad mistakes you made?
Oh, that's very, very good. I've done some bad things. I think that I would go back in time and not give balefire to the Lost Boys. I think. And the reason is simply so I would get a reaction like that. No, I would. I think that's one of those ones that he always regretted, and I think that would probably be the moment.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, Colin.
Hi.
I have 2 questions for you. My first question is, what is the most memorable joke or prank that was pulled on set?
I guess that kind of answers your question. Josh had a fart machine once when we were in Neverland. That was probably it. He had a fart machine, so it was hidden in one of the plants. And so every time somebody walked past, it would so that's probably the one I remember most.
My second question is, would you be willing to sing something for us?
Yes.
Sing what?
Maybe a song from your musical?
My dear prince and princess, your offer is meaningless. Don't give a damn about your rank. The gold in your sack, well, it isn't worth jack. I should make you fools go up the plank. Your riches would fill other pirates with glee, but none of those pirates are me. That's it. Singing yo-ho.
Thank you, Colin.
Thank you.
Hi, Colin.
Hello.
I have two questions for you. So my first one was, what was it like filming the scene Revenge in the musical episode as opposed to like a normal scene?
Yeah, it was great. Great to a point. No, it was really, really good. You know, it's unusual to get a chance to rehearse anything, so it's great to actually get, because it makes things go a lot quicker. Well, unless somebody breaks something in the scene, then it goes a bit slower, but normally it makes it go a bit quicker. But yeah, it was fun. Look, that whole episode was so much fun because, you know, well, I've never done a musical, so I don't particularly think I'm that great a singer, so it was fun to be able to do that, and then have a whole sort of choreographed dance thing with pirates and stuff, and it was just really, really good. It was really good fun. It was just a shame that the ending was slightly different, because what we had rehearsed was that as I got up on the table at the end, I was going to step forward, but as I stepped forward, as soon as I stepped off the table, one of the pirates was going to throw a bench in, and my foot would land on a bench, and then it kept doing it, so it looked as though I was going to fall every time until I got to the thing, but we couldn't, because of the floors in the tavern, they couldn't make that happen, so, and then we didn't realise I'd broken my foot at that point, but... Did you
know you broke your foot when it happened, or did you just keep working and not say anything?
I personally knew that I'd broken my foot.
But you didn't stop and go, hey, I'm hurt, and you just kept...
No, they said, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Okay, let's do it again. So I did that gag again on the chair 4 more times, and then danced on it for 8 hours. And I'm not saying that, not like, oh, aren't I great? But it was more because I knew that we were getting towards the end of the season. Time was running out. Time runs out. When you get to those last 4 or 5 weeks, time runs out very, very quickly. You don't realise it, and then you can't pick up scenes. You can't do that. And I was like, I'll be damned if we're going to lose this pirate number, because I've busted my foot, on a freak accident.
So you gutted it out.
So I just sort of...
And also, if you take time to go and ice it and pull that boot off, you'll never get the boot on again. You got to kind of...
Yeah, I did sort of ice it a couple of times, because Maya, who's the stunt coordinator, is awesome.
Yeah.
Sort of said to me, can I take a look at your foot? And I was like, in my head I was kind of like, I hope it's just badly bruised. And then I took off the boot. I kind of knew, because I'd broken this leg skiing. I sort of knew that I knew that it had broken. And it just sort of went like that when I took off the boot. So I had to ice it and then squeeze everything back in and dance on it a little bit and stuff. So, but it was fine.
You did a great job. I mean, it was a great number. You would never have known.
There's only one point that I saw in the thing where I knew that you could see me flinch. I'm not going to say when it was, but that's when I was like, because like literally everything after that moment, the chair where I took over the chair on that scene, every single thing after that is on a broken foot. Everything that you've seen is on a broken foot. So.
That's an interesting Easter egg for everyone. Go look for the moment of masochism. Should be exciting.
And then my second question is, if Hook went to Hogwarts, what would his house be?
Oh.
I think it would be a Slytherin, wouldn't he? Yeah, I think so.
Thank you.
Hi, if you were not an actor, what do you think your career would be?
I think I would have. I was going to go to art college, so maybe something to do with art or design or something like that. Maybe. I would like to think it would be a rock star, but I don't know if that was. I don't know if that was ever in the cards. So I played in the band and love music and stuff like that. I think it would have been something. I would have tried to do something artistic anyway. So.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. So I have a 2-part question. The first one, I guess people have been having the whole hugs and the singing, but my question was going to be, we get to see you be you here, at least hopefully a little bit. I was wondering if you could do some lines for us or whatever, if we could see as a group Captain Hook.
Well, I wore my vest today, so I looked more like Hook today, which I don't normally do. Yeah, sorry to disappoint you if you have to see the real me, but
yeah, it is a bummer, really.
what would you like me to say as a hook?
I don't know. I was thinking, what were some of your favorite lines that
I mean, I
you
suppose
can
I
remember
could,
out of all of them? You know?
I could just sound like this maybe and talk like this. So, you know, it's very, well, hook is very different because my voice sounds differently and I kind of move slightly differently. Anyway, if I jab you with my sword, you'll feel it.
That's awesome. And then my other part of the question is, so, I mean, watching you guys act, it's just incredible. Like, I mean, I know the